Wife of the governor, Mrs. Soludo, partners in a watch on healthy living awareness. International organization hosts private screening on deafening silence. Cyclone Remal kills 7 people in southern India. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Chidimma Orangwa, and now the news in full. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has assured that his government will do everything possible to rescue the recently kidnapped member of the state chapter of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Barrister Chukwubike Azaro, and to bring killers of another member of the association, the Vice Chairman of the NBA Ihala branch and Principal State Counsel, Barrister Peter Awa, to book. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo filed on this report.
The governor gave the assurance through his deputy, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, when he met with the members of the state chapter of the NBA during their peaceful protest at the State High Court premises in Awka. Governor Soludo, who stated that protection of lives and properties of the state's residents remains top in the agenda of his administration, noted that the government, in collaboration with security agents in the state, will continue to do the needful to win the war against all forms of insecurity in the state and to make sure that the perpetrators of the acts face the full weight of the law. Governor Soludo, who regretted the level of insecurity in today's society, reminded people of the state that security is everybody's business, and as such, people should collaborate with the government and security agencies to ensure adequate security through provision of necessary information to security agencies and other relevant authorities. Professor Soludo used the opportunity to call on the judiciary to come up with laws that will help to aid tight security at the state level.
We as a government, we don't sleep. We're on our toes. I want to remind you that the days you don't get to hear all this. Somebody somewhere is paying that their price.
Earlier, the chairman, Committee of Chairmen and Secretaries, NBA branches, Anambra State, Barrister Chukwu Nsofo, who revealed that Barrister Awa was gruesomely murdered by unidentified gunmen at Okeja on Sunday, 19th May 2024, while the Secretary of Idemili branch of NBA, Barrister Chukwubike Azoro, was recently kidnapped and is still in the custody of his adopters, called for improved security in the state for the safety of lawyers and other residents in Anambra.
Crime is no longer limited to time, and it's not limited to locality anymore in Anambra State. It's everywhere. And irrespective of profession or personality, every person is a potential victim now. That is why we have called on lawyers to come out today as voice to the voiceless. That is why we are here today, to protest against insecurity. All we are saying is give us security so that we can walk freely in the state.
Anambra State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Sylvia Ifemeje, Special Advisor to the Governor on Special Security, Air Vice Marshal Ben Chuobi were present at the event. From Anambra State High Court in Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State Governor's wife, Nonye Soludo, says journalists are important stakeholders in the propagation of healthy living education and decentralization. Mrs. Soludo, who stated this at the 2024 Triennial Delegates Conference of the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, explained that the uniqueness of her non-governmental movement rubs off on the principle of basic awareness, which journalists are championing. Correspondent Dan Ezigwe filed in this report, taken from our studio.
governor's wife said that female journalists, because of the distinctive position they occupy in the prestigious profession, could lead to the much-needed revolution in health, beginning with themselves. She reminded the female journalists to be conscious of healthy living while discharging their professional duties, explaining that it is not only a healthy body that can perform well, disclosing the interest of her NGO to partner with NAWOJ in both promoting healthy living awareness, reportage, and education in Anambra State, and stressed the strength of the crusade is hinged on collaborative opportunities, while explaining the importance of each of the 6 pillars of the program.
Because health is the greatest wealth. Yes. That's the greatest wealth. Because when you are not well, you can't give up. So there are a lot you can do. A whole lot. And the food industry is really killing us on the daily basis. A lot of things we are eating. Every day diagnosis.
Mrs. Soludo stated that healthy living with Nonye Soludo initiative is not a pet project, as is misconceived by some people, maintaining that the movement which she began years before her husband's administration will outlive tenure of the current government.
Because we are working together, yes, and we work together. Because this crusade, healthy living with Nonye Soludo, I will do it with you guys. Yeah. That's why Dr. Soludo is here. It's for a prosperous and livable homeland. And he is doing it. In 2 years, he has done quite a lot.
Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Health has commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for his proactive measures improving healthcare delivery in the state. The committee's commendation came after an oversight visit to the Enugu General Hospital in Njikoka Council area, where they inspected the ongoing renovation project. Correspondent Emmanuel Chiwata now reports.
The committee expressed satisfaction with the quality of infrastructure, medical equipment, and the installation of solar power for constant electricity supply in the hospital. Speaking, the House Committee Chairman on Health, Chief Tony Muabike, praised Governor Soludo for transforming the hospital, noting that it now offers higher quality and more accessible care. He emphasized the 8th Assembly's commitment to ensuring vigorous pursuit of all government projects and judicious use of funds appropriated.
In line with the resolution of the Professor Chukwuma Soludo-led administration, this 8th Assembly is poised to ensure that every project that the government sets out to pursue is pursued to a logical conclusion. We are set to ensure that there are no leakages in IGR, and in particular, I want to commend Mr. Governor for the proactiveness in the area of health delivery in Anambra State.
In his remarks, the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Dr. Dozie Udolisa, expressed gratitude for the visit and thanked Governor Soludo for the renovations, which he said have significantly improved the hospital structure, equipment, and services. He called for the hiring of additional staff to manage the increasing number of patients coming to the hospital.
We want to appreciate the governor, the government of the state, for the renovation work that is being done in I will say that people that have been here before, by entering into this place, you ask yourself, is it the same place I'm going or I'm going somewhere else? Equipment and also in personnel. The government have been doing a lot, trying to get out to from merely a general hospital to coming up to a specialist center.
In the oversight team, we had a member representing Agwata Constituency 1, Honorable Anayo Obaleke, his Obaru Constituency 1 counterpart, Honorable Nobu Igwe, that of Urumba South, Engineer Imanwafo, and Ihiala Constituency 2, Honorable Golden Ilu, among others. Emmanuel Chibata for ABS News.
Pensioners in Anambra State have commended the state government for prompt payment of their monthly stipend, while calling for review and harmonization of their pay to meet up with the current economic realities in the country. This and many other issues came to the fore during this year's Anambra State Council meeting of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi now reports.
The meeting, held in Awka with the theme Evolving Landscape of Pension Policies, Staying Informed and Engaged, attracted pensioners from different parts of the state. In an opening remark, the chairman, Anambra State Council, Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Dr. Anthony Ugozo, commended the state government for its developmental strides, especially in road construction, employment of teachers and healthcare workers, as well as empowering the youth, noting that the state is making steady progress. He called on the state to review and determine the minimum wage and pension for the state, saying that many pensioners still receive as low as 35 naira as pension.
Without fear of contradiction, I wish to remark that the top government functionaries mentioned above play both individual and collective roles in making the positive transformation of the state by the solution governor possible. As the saying goes, that the tree cannot make the forest.
In her address, the Anambra State Head of Service, Barrister Theodora Igwebe, thanked the pensioners for their meritorious service to the state and emphasized that the state government is making their welfare a priority through prompt payment of their pension and gratuity, promising to look into matters raised by the body.
I am pleased that the government has agreed to defray the unpaid gratuities that are accumulated and has been paying these accumulated gratuities. It will interest you to note that gratuities owed from 2016, in the case of some people, to 2019, and in other cases to 2020, have all been cleared.
Anambra State Accountant General Dr. Chukwudi Okoli, who received an award of meritorious service from the body, explained that being a pensioner is the hallmark of every worker's life, reason the state government pays pension, gratuity, and every other benefit to pensioners without delay. The state chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Humphrey Nwafo, emphasized that as efforts are being made to protect the interests of workers, that of pensioners who have served the state would not be neglected. Some retired pensioners who spoke to the ABS, Mr. Felix Onwuka, who retired in 2008 as a teacher, and Lady Kate Okafor, who retired as a school supervisor in 2001, appreciated the state government for their efforts towards the welfare of pensioners. They also commended the leadership of the union for their efforts towards protecting the interests of pensioners. In Awka, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
The Post-Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC Awka, has flagged off 2024-2025 state leadership training for newly elected prefects of public mission secondary schools in Anambra State. The capacitor building, which took place at Community Secondary School Ifise Ogware, had students, teachers, principals, and officials of PPSSC, among others, in attendance. Queen Anibogo reports that the PPSSC annually approved leadership training for Anambra School prefects as one of its proactive strategies in the management of schools. Her report.
A keynote address, the chairman PPSSC, Professor Nkechi Ikedugu, while congratulating the newly elected, all about service and inspiring others, noting that the commission believes that what makes or mars a school, and indeed any organization, is leadership. Professor Ikedugu explained that the main duty of a prefect is to maintain an atmosphere of friendly cooperation, peace, discipline, and unity in the school, saying that as prefect, they will encounter various types of students in the school, which requires a lot of diplomacy and wisdom to handle. Hence the reason for the training was organized for them, to acquaint them with challenges of leadership and how to overcome them. She charged the prefect to emulate Governor Chukwuma Soludo in all ramifications of good leadership, which has placed Anambra high in Nigeria, even as she appreciated all that contributed to make leadership training a success.
Prefects were elected in their various schools, and there is need to give them training so that they know how to do their jobs in their various schools. That's why we have assembled all of them here. Capacity building, to train them on how to do their work as prefects.
The chairman on the occasion, Chief Raphael Machie, who won Presidential Award 2010 in school administration, said the occasion was to teach young ones about leadership, the challenges and benefits therein, and appreciated PPSSC and Anambra government for all their efforts in the education sector.
2010 Presidential Award, Ego School in Abuja, the best school in Nigeria, Odogun, and not because of the So, school and what school, I was the principal there, yes.
In a goodwill message, the Director of Education, PPSSC, Otuacha Zone, Mrs. Nkole Abata, pointed out that the leadership training program is one of the annual guidance and counseling programs of PPSSC, designed to groom the newly elected school prefects on how to best carry out the leadership task entrusted on them and how to combine this new role with their academics and still excel in both.
This crisis after as a war or a fight, when there is a fight going on or about to go on, or when there is crisis in games like last week, Friday, we have football match in my school.
At the business section, various papers were presented. Paper 1, titled Good Leadership, a Condition for Social Transformation by Mrs. Uju Mebo. The role of prefect in eliminating antisocial behavior in school was handled by Mrs. Anna Ndianefo. Prefects and crisis management was handled by Mrs. Eunice Mbebu, and the place of prefects in school governance by Mrs. Michael Ekunife. Induction of new prefects by Reverend Canon Anderson Onyanona. Question and answer session, welcome song, and cultural dance featured during the ceremony.
The technology-driven and rigid personnel operational positioning on the anti-crime approach of the Anambra State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Nahe Obono-Itam, has continued to thwart criminal endeavors of gunmen in the state, as police in Agwata rescued an adopted victim and recovered his sky blue Toyota Camry vehicle. A release endorsed by the Anambra State Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga said the officers responded swiftly when they got report at about 4:30 in the evening on Wednesday of the abduction along Omuchana village, Ekulobia, Agwata local government area. According to the release, the hot chase by the police team, the criminals shoved the victim out of the vehicle at Ndike village in Urumban North local government area and drove off for escape. Police officers sustained the trail on their abductors and the criminals abandoned their vehicle along Umunza Road, Urumbasa local government area, and ran into a nearby bush. Operations are still ongoing for possible arrest of the hoodlums, according to the police statement. Meanwhile, the victim was said to have been debriefed and reunited with his family. The State Commissioner of Police, while hailing the gallantry performance displayed by the police operatives, assured in the Anambra that the police and all the security agencies will do everything within the law to ensure they deny criminals the opportunity to foment troubles and regroup anywhere in the state. Still on the news this evening, the European Union and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in Nigeria have hosted a private screening of the feature film, Deafening Silence, which is a result of the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative that advocates for gender equality and women empowerment in Nigeria. The Spotlight Initiative aligns strongly with the government of Nigeria's gender priorities, as well as the European Union and the United Nations Gender Action Point on gender equality, women's empowerment, and combating sexual-based violence and violence against women. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Efri Ajide filed in this report.
Deafening Silence, produced by the UNDP within the framework of the EU Spotlight Initiative, leverages the power of storytelling to explore themes of gender equality, gender empowerment, and sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. The film aims to foster deep and honest conversations around these critical issues with the goal of bringing about social change. The film seeks to raise awareness and inspire action to combat GBV, promoting a society where gender equality and empowerment are fundamental values. In a speech, the European Union Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Samuela Isopi, said act is a powerful tool to promote behavioral change, fight stigma, and create awareness around negative social norms. Hence the hope that the film will contribute to promoting gender equality and prevent gender-based violence in Nigeria and build a more inclusive society.
This movie, Deafening Silence, will help maintain the momentum, keep the spotlight on gender-based violence, keep the focus on the key objectives of the Spotlight Initiative. First, to break the silence and fight the stigma. Second, to realize the need for action and mobilization. Third, to convey the message that everyone has a role to play in fight gender-based violence, in the family, in the community, in the society.
The resident representative of UNDP Nigeria, Ms. Elsie Atafua, described Deafening Silence as a comprehensive communication, media and visibility intervention designed to challenge biased gender norms and inspire transformative conversations.
Gender-based violence pervades all social strata, the elite, middle class, and the poor. No one is spared. These barriers also limit the reporting of sexual and gender-based violence and violence against women and girls by victims in Nigeria.
The film, Deafening Silence, is compelling, impactful, and thought-provoking, and will spark broader discussions in Nigeria about gender equality, empowerment, sexual and gender-based violence, and gender violence against women, and as well provide a forum for critical debate and action. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
And on the foreign scene, at least 7 people, including a child, have died in southern India as tropical cyclone Remo lashed the area with torrential rain and heavy winds. A senior district official told reporters that a 12-year-old girl and her father were among those killed as a poultry shed that was under construction collapsed in the village in the state of Telangana, Vadlagutam. The 5 others killed were also in Telangana. More than 1 million people in India and Bangladesh were evacuated on Sunday as the cyclone made landfall near the border between the two countries. The cyclone has continued to move inland across eastern India, toppling trees, turning roads into rivers, and causing wide-scale damage. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. Follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Anambra State Government has reaffirmed commitment towards combating crime in the state. Wife of the Governor, Mr. Soludo, has partnered NAWATCH on healthy living awareness. International organizations have hosted private screening on deafening silence. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Cyclone Remo has killed 7 people in southern India. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core equal values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news tonight. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chidima Orangwa. Good night.